Alright, so NFL Week 11 just happened. I'm putting this day out later than I usually do. Sorry, but something got in. I just didn't get to it. Oh well, we're doing it now anyways. I want to start off with the Arizona Cardinals in the 49ers game, as the Arizona Cardinals only lost 36-26, and that's really only because of a fumble that got returned to the touchdown. So really, it's a 3-point game. And if we're being completely honest, Cardinals probably should have won this game. It's remarkable that they were probably even close, but I gotta say, the Arizona Cardinals are building something special up there, and it's only going to keep going north from down the bottom below. So then we move on to another team that's looking up too, as the Miami Dolphins only lost 37-20 against the Buffalo Bills. They seemed kind of somewhat in the game. It's definitely looking up for them, though. Brian Flores seems like he's going to be a really good coach. And what can we say? That's a great fit right there. Then Minnesota, of course, had a 20-point comeback. Everybody's talking about it. I forget who they beat, but I think it was Denver. Yeah, they had a 20-point comeback against Denver with a backup quarterback. Technically, Drew Lock's supposed to be the backup, and he's hurt too. But 20-0 going into the half, they won 27-23. Their running game just really came alive. It's really what the whole game should have gone. It's not that big of a deal. At least I don't think so. Good game by the Vikings. And Atlanta Falcons might be back. After, once again, beating an NFC South foe, and this time Carolina Panthers, 29-3. Which puts another question for Carolina. Kyle Allen might not be the answer, which might be heartbreaking for Panthers fans, because you're really, really hoping for this quarterback to be a franchise answer. You saw Cam Newton struggling at one point, and now Kyle Allen just looks like he's on the downhill again. It's going to be interesting to see what Carolina does this offseason. I really think they should go with Kyle Allen as the long-term answer still. See how he does next year. If it's not looking very well next year, it might be time to call on for a first-round quarterback. Because if he doesn't play well next year, that's probably where they will be. Plus, that team's getting pretty old anyways. Luke Kuechly's getting up there. The only player they really have that's young is their offense in Chris McCaffrey and DJ Moore. But there's also a factor. They have no offensive line to protect Kyle Allen. It's really hard to be a successful QB without an offensive line. If we saw with Tom Brady, actually. Like, Tom Brady without a good offensive line is just an average quarterback. Once he gets his line back, he'll be dropping dimes everywhere. But right now, New England is not as efficient on offense because their offensive line isn't as good as it usually is. So I say just give it time. Kyle Allen might be the long-term answer there. If not, you draft someone that isn't injury-prone, hopefully, and can lead the team. And, of course, talking about New England Patriots brings us up to their game against the Philadelphia Eagles. And really, I don't have much to say about the Patriots. I kind of just spoke about them. They won 17-10, but the Philadelphia Eagles are missing something. They need their speedy wide receiver back, it seems like, in Deshaun Jackson. But that's not happening. They need to get younger, pretty much. Their team is top of the level old. And it's quite depressing. I'd like to see them play some of these. I'd like to see them trade some of these old players for draft picks, but I don't think that will happen. It's going to be, I don't know. We'll see what happens in Philly. Ryan Finley and the Cincinnati Bengals lost 17-10 against Oakland. Not that great a game from Oakland, but I guess that's oh well. It looked like their team that we were expecting. Oakland's on and off. Let's just say that. But your main takeaway is Ryan Finley sucks. Like, he's absolute trash. 13 for 31, 115 yards, and an interception. Does not belong in the NFL. Joe Burrow, welcome to the Cincinnati Bengals. Then, in the Jets-Redskins game, some people are going to look at this and say, hey, Sam Darnold did pretty well. That is true. Sam Darnold had a really good game. The Jets ended up winning 34-17. But Dwayne Haskins actually had a not-so-bad game either. His stat line's not showing it, but it's also because his team is a lot worse than Sam Darnold's team, I would say at least. Sam Darnold at least has some players. Dwayne Haskins does not have much. He tries. I'm a big fan of Dwayne Haskins. He went for 19 for 35, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He should have had more. His offensive line kind of held him back. You saw him try to lead the team, though, which I think is a great step for a quarterback. He is showing that he can be a leader. He's trying to motivate his offensive line. And that's a great thing to see. That's what you want to see from your franchise quarterback. At least what you want to be your franchise quarterback. So that's a great progression moment to see from Dwayne Haskins. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, went 19 for 30, 293 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. He just had a nice day. That's a very good game. Against not so great of a defense, but that's a very solid game. Especially when you had pass rush in his face all over. And considering neither one has a very good line or weapons, they both played very, very solid. Just one has a little bit better weapons than the other one. So then we move on. Dak Prescott. They beat the Lions 35-27. Whoopie-dee-doo, it's Detroit Lions, but Dallas Cowboys defense is not looking so hot. Dak Prescott literally led that game. 29 for 46, 444 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a pretty good stat line. Sure, stats don't tell the whole story, but that's a pretty good stat line. That's what most people care about, too, is stats. And Dak Prescott might finally be coming out his shell. It might be for real finally. Maybe this is the offensive coordinator's fault? That's kind of question. Maybe the offensive coordinator finally let him do his thing. Maybe Jason Garrett stopped holding him back. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. It's still like Cowboys. We don't know what's going to happen. And then we have the Indianapolis Colts. They just manhandled the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just running the ball all over them. This was a comeback game for Nick Foles and a comeback game for Jacoby Brissett. So both quarterbacks were out for a couple games at least. Nick Foles a lot longer. But they were out. And one place a little bit better than the other. Nick Foles played a little bit better than Jacoby Brissett, at least on the stat line. But it looked like Brissett looked better on the field. And Indianapolis Colts had a lot of help from their rushing game. They had 264 yards rushing. That is a crazy amount. Marlon Mack, one of the Colts running backs, ran for 109 yards. He got hurt. And then their backup running back, Jonathan Williams, came in and he ran for another 116 yards. You don't see this often, but they had 200-yard rushers. That was the first time in Colts history, which is a pretty iconic moment. And, of course, I talked about Foles already. He went 33 for 47, 296 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And then Brissett went 15 for 24, 148 yards, 1 touchdown, and a half an interception. I would say it wasn't really his fault. Bounced off the wide receiver. Oh, well. They ran the ball very well, though. So when you don't need your quarterback to perform, and he's not throwing 40 times, you don't expect much out of each throw. So, like I said, Foles looked better on the stat sheet. Brissett looked better on the field. And they ran the ball a lot. And then the Saints. Oh, the Saints. Hey. I'm wondering. Drew Brees went 28 for 35, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also came out with a win. But were the Saints better with Bridgewater at quarterback? Like, I don't know. It's kind of sad that I'm questioning this too. I shouldn't be questioning this. This is a pretty big hot take. This was supposed to come out on Monday too, so overreaction Monday type stuff. But like, I don't think Bridgewater is better than Brees at all. But Bridgewater did put more of a dynamic offense to that. He had more of a threat on his legs. It's time to consider if the Saints really were better with Bridgewater. I don't think the Saints should even take a risk of losing Bridgewater this offseason, though. Drew Brees needs to retire. It seems about that time. Teddy Bridgewater needs to take over the franchise. Also, the Rams and the Bears QBs are both average. Neither of them are above average. Jared Goff's a little bit better than Mitchell Trubisky, but it's not by much. Both of them are complete trash. In my opinion, both of them are trash. Rams won 17-7 over the Bears. Mitchell Trubisky went 24 for 43, 190 yards, a touchdown, and interception. That is absolutely terrible. Got pulled in the third quarter. Thank God for the Bears, I'm guessing. Jared Goff went 11 for 18, 173 yards, and its interception. Neither of those looked good. Neither of them looked very good on the field either. Then we move on to the Baltimore Ravens, who dominated the Houston Texans 41-7. As I personally think Deshaun Watson should be nowhere close to that MVP race title. It's not even close. He went 18 for 29, 169 yards, and an interception. That's not a great stat line. I don't think he's an MVP of this team. MVPs don't get blown out 41-7 against another Super Bowl team. I'm sorry, but that's the solid truth. Then we move on to our Monday night game. A little special attention since this is being recorded on a Tuesday. 24-17, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Chargers from. It seems like Phillip Rivers is washed out. He had 4 interceptions and was barely at the 50% completion. But the Chargers are starting to look a little bit better, which is a good thing to see. But it's not. Their offense is somewhat holding back. Their defense is somewhat there. So it's kind of like average. If they would have played this way at the beginning of the year, they'd probably have a couple more wins. They'd probably be around 6. Probably be around what are we at? 5-5 pretty much. 5-6, I would say. I don't know what. I should know, but I say 5-5. They should be around 500 pretty much, is what I'm saying. But they've been just off and on pretty much. Then the Kansas City Chiefs have to miss Kareem Hunt. They have to miss Kareem Hunt. They're missing a dynamic runner that has speed. That's what they need, is someone that has speed. Which kind of sucks, because they need offensive line too. I'm sure they draft a running back this year. It's just, I don't know who. Travis Etienne, I think, would be perfect for that offense, though. I'm sure they'll find someone, though, in the draft. All right, and now it's time for my rankings. At number 32, the Bengals. 31, the Redskins. 30, New York Jets. 29, the Miami Dolphins. 28, New York Giants. 27, Arizona Cardinals. 26, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 25, Denver Broncos. 24, the Chicago Bears. 23, Jacksonville Jaguars. 22, Cleveland Browns. 21, Atlanta Falcons. 20 is Detroit Lions. 19 is the LA Chargers. 18 is the Buffalo Bills. 17 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. 16 is the Tennessee Titans. 15 is the Oakland Raiders. 14 is the Philadelphia Eagles. 13 is the Carolina Panthers. 12 is LA Rams. 11th is the Houston Texans. 10th is the Indianapolis Colts. 9th is the Dallas Cowboys. 8th is the Kansas City Chiefs. 7th is the Minnesota Vikings. 6th is the Seattle Seahawks. 5 is the Green Bay Packers. 4, we have New Orleans Saints. 3, San Francisco 49ers. 2 is New England Patriots. And number 1, my brand new number 1, is the Baltimore Ravens which I think is going to be everybody's number one right now. Beat the Patriots, dominating the league. It seems like Marcus Peters was perfect for that defense and what boosted them to the next level. So, those are my rankings and my recaps for this week of the NFL. I want to hear your guys' thoughts about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some recaps or takeaways you took from this week? Why do you disagree with my rankings? Or why do you agree with them? Also, if you guys have any suggestions for another video, leave that down below as well. Who knows, I may end up doing your suggestion one of these days. Of course, thanks for watching. Make sure to click those links down there to Instagram, Twitter, Discord, or Patreon. And of course, just make sure to keep the sports weed flowing throughout the day.